Alrighty, welcome back to Hit the Gap for another season, 2026, and damn, it's good to have football back.
Fucking oath. Oh my god. Off season should be banned, I reckon.
Yeah, tragic time. Christmas, not even worth it. But yeah, good to be back. It's I'm still, I don't know, myself, it's what, the third or fourth year of it. I'm still adjusting to having two games on the first weekend for Vegas and then waiting a whole week for the rest of round one. But that's just a personal gripe. I just want to get into it and get round one out of the way, get a whole lot of footy straight up. But it does give you a little bit more excitement. I guess it draws it out. How did you feel about the Vegas games specifically?
Well, look, Vegas, the attendance was better than it was last year. Only marginally, but it was still better, which is good. That means it's getting a bit of a footing, which is fantastic. It's pulling sales. That's what you want at the end of the day. That's what you weather was great. The games were, if you're not a Cowboy supporter, you had a good time, but that's about it, really.
Or a Dragons supporter, a little bit dotted anyway. Yeah, I think from what I can tell, because the teams they took over this year, maybe outside of the Bulldogs possibly, but I don't know whether they would have had as many travelling fans as year prior. I didn't actually hear really any stats on that or how many people went over, but it does seem almost as if the American fans are starting to attend, or there's a bit more attendance from locals as opposed to predominantly, people travelling. So
I think that also comes off the back of great content creation as well. I myself, even personally, have noticed a lot more of those sorts of YouTuber types where they react to NRL's biggest hits, like all those sorts of things, So I do think it's starting to get a bit of a footing in America, which is awesome.
The American market,
absolutely.
Yep, definitely, yeah, and like you said, with all the options for content creation, it's opening doors for a little bit more viewership and that for people that may not otherwise watch it. But we'll get into those games, those first two games. Knights versus Cowboys. Knights 28 to the Cowboys 18. Not, like you said earlier, not very favourable if you're a Cowboys fan, but pretty positive sign for the Knights, who last year were probably the worst attacking team and started strong in game one of round one this year.
I think if you're a Knights supporter, you're incredibly happy with what you saw.
Yeah.
To have such a powerful edge, no matter which edge you go, have a powerful middle, no matter who you give it to in the middle, especially Trey Mooney. Wow, he was fantastic.
He's on spot too.
He is seriously going to be a potent force to deal with going forward this year, I think. But obviously, I haven't said the main name of the whole lot. And it's not Kalen Ponga, it's Fletcher Sharp. That guy is just unreal to watch. That guy fills me with the same excitement I used to feel when I would watch Matty Bowen. And it's been a long time since I've said that about any player. So, we have a lot of greats in our game. But Fletcher Sharp, he showed sparks last year, and it was sort of like, this looks pretty good. This year, that game before he got that injury, honestly, I thought we were going to finish that game with a line through us.
Yeah, could have been.
And that was from 20 minutes of viewing. 20 minutes of viewing, and I thought we were going to see a line through us for that game. And then, luckily or unluckily, depending on who you are, what you support, he picked up that nasty injury. So hopefully he does recover very well. But yeah,
you're right. It could have easily been another 2, if not 3 tries to him the way they were going.
And that's just him.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just to him. Yeah.
And the combination between him and Pong is going strong again too. Which one thing I noticed, ever since he Sharp debuted a couple of years ago, 2 years ago or whatever, he's been pretty versatile wherever he's been playing. But 6 is just so strong, and linking up with Ponga there, like most of last year, especially toward the back end, Ponga just seemed uninspired and I don't know, he just didn't want to go to anyone, or he wasn't taking options or passing the ball off when he otherwise would have. Whereas this game, it was any man's, Ponga was leading the show almost, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
a great combination there. And yeah, like you said, Sharp all the better for it, and hopefully MCL, I think it was MCL injury, so a couple
PCL.
weeks, PCL, so a couple weeks, but not major. So and hopefully they don't rush him back so he injures it again. Because I mean, for the Knights anyway, hopefully for them, that's
I think that's probably my only that's probably my only worry with Fletcher Sharp is that he seems to be very injury prone. He's one of those sorts of body types where he's just very flimsy.
Yeah, not a very big guy. So, which I mean does speak to his speed and agility and that, but not as robust when it comes to taking bigger tackles or those awkward sort of moments, which that injury really was, unfortunately for him. It might have just been a bit of an awkward step, if anything. The other
more milk.
Yeah. The other thing was Dylan Brown. I mean, didn't light the world on fire, but by far better than the last few 7
and you know what
they've had. Last few years of number 7 experiments, anyway.
Like, I thought, I mean, because there was so much going on with the rest of the team that looked fantastic, I feel like he got really overshadowed. But he did play. It showed signs that he actually still wanted to play rugby league at least. Like, fuck me.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, I mean, the Knights have been a basket case in the halves the last couple of years, really. People in and out, and Hastings and Cogger and whoever else has been given a shot, but just no one's been able to really lock it down and just form a good combination. But it's, for Knights fans anyway, it should be pretty exciting to see the next few rounds and how him and Ponga and I guess Sharp when he's back as well link up. But Knights very strong in attack, but unfortunately the Cowboys, and I don't know, I mean, it was rather disappointing for me to watch, like you said, 10-20 minutes in, it sort of felt like defensively anyway, it was just, a
all over the shop
last year and possibly the year before.
I think for me, the only real good takeaways from this game for the Cowboys was the introduction of Reed Marnie. I thought he was very good.
Yep.
Not only did I think he was very good, but I also thought that his stats in particular as well. I believe he played a full 80, didn't he? He played a full 80. Yep. So, he is trying to level himself up personally, not just for the team.
Yeah.
And that's always fantastic to see when people want to improve themselves like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Murray can't keep an old dog down, really. Showed a lot of prowess. Always sniffing for the ball on that edge. Lukey was a fantastic reshowing. Please don't get injured anymore, bro. I'm begging.
Yep.
Please keep those knees safe. I'm begging.
One missing, or we missed the last few years, really, because he's had a good run when he's come in, and then that's it, the knees or the ankle or something.
And then Jace was also quite good as well, getting meters. But as far as that goes, that's about it. I wasn't really inspired by the attack at all. I definitely wasn't inspired by the defense. So we've got some work to do. That's for sure. It's only round 1, but my God, we've got some work to do.
It's considering that's been the focus point of where we've been going wrong, or so badly wrong the last couple of years. It just doesn't it doesn't really lead to or point to any positive improvement over the off season, unfortunately. And I mean, hey, maybe a little bit of traveling or whatever might have contributed to it a bit, but yeah, who knows? It just, I really hope against the Tigers this week we can show some sort of signs of improvement, and that the whole off season hasn't gone to waste, because it's going to be another long year of the same old shit otherwise, really.
And see, it makes me honestly think of maybe they need to restructure how they do Vegas in general. Like, why are we sending teams that were not in the top 8, or why are we sending teams that are not in the top 8 to Vegas anyway at the start of the year? We want to put our best foot forward in America, so we want to give them the best product that we can show. And don't get me wrong, I love my Cowboys, but I don't really think we're in a position to be, in that category right now.
I get the idea of giving everyone a go and whatnot, but I also agree, in a sense, or agree partially with you, where I almost think maybe whoever the premiers are should be locked in every year, and that's the one certain team, so that way you are getting a bit of the best, and then whether it be the other three teams, somehow they rotate them in a way, and that way you can sort of still filter through and everyone eventually gets a go. But like you're saying, you're almost guaranteed to have at least one, if not two, of the best teams playing every year. So
I'd almost prefer that, like at least pick from the top 8 for all 4. Really?
Yeah. Yep. But it was. I mean, if you're a Knights fan, it was a good one to start the season. But unfortunately for us Cowboys fans, a rough watch. But the next game, the Bulldogs and Dragons one. I mean, geez, I feel bad for the Dragons. A little bit dudded in the end there, and you can say, ref wasn't the one that didn't put the points on the board, or scored for the Bulldogs. But very crucial moment when that strip penalty came, I think it was.
And I think for me, that's why I said at the start that you're only sad about the Vegas games if you're a Cowboy supporter. I think every other team should be stoked with how their team's played.
Yeah.
I think the Dragons should not even... I mean, look, you didn't get the Chockies in terms of the points that are on your books right now, sure. But you should not be disappointed with this performance. I thought this was a fantastic performance from them. I thought Clint was fantastic. I thought Val was actually very good as well.
Yeah.
But I think the one that really impressed me a lot was Emre Gula. What a change!
Spot, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I thought he didn't do that great at Canberra. He wasn't the most amazing at Canberra.
Yeah.
He was sort of just like a gap fella.
Yeah, was that interchange, give someone
just a bench
sort of thing. Yeah.
He was just a bench boy, and that was it.
Yep.
Man, he came to the Dragons and he showed that he actually can be in that forward pack and be someone worth a spot. So
take it to some of those doggies boys are big too, are heavy hitters. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
I thought he did fantastic. I think the one thing that look, with the Bulldogs side, I was happy with what I saw from most of them, except for the fact that it seemed like, look, I want to say they were hungover as fuck or something like that. They were just so sluggish. Like it was like watching mud dry. It was pretty rough.
The scoreline kind of indicates to that, right? I mean, because any time last year, both of these teams going head to head, you'd almost put money on the Bulldogs being 20 points ahead or something.
Exactly,
like that.
Yeah. And I still think that is the case. I still really do think that is the case.
Yeah.
For the majority of teams, really, I still think this is a top 8 side. I thought even Lockie Galvin was playing a fantastic game as well.
Yeah.
But I think the real one for me in this game is, with everything going on the Bulldogs team right on that moment. I think Steve Crichton's leadership was fantastic. The way he pushed the boys around the park was just amazing. So that's probably the big one.
To ice that golden point moment and get that field goal for him. I think probably just before moving too far off the Dragons, I think Atkinson's probably going to be pretty handy for them. They're another team, the Dragons, where they've had some sort of woes at 7 there since Hunt left. I mean, even when Hunt was there toward the end, but well, not in 7, but woes around the park, whereas now that Hunt's gone, they just haven't found someone to fill in or fill that spot, whereas he's done all right. So I think moving forward, hopefully he can improve and whatnot, and he can make that spot his. But yeah, a little bit of...
I think bringing over some Melbourne Storm strat is also pretty handy as well.
Yeah, yep. And talking about the Storm, we'll move on to the following week, the rest of the round, that Thursday night game. And in classic Storm round 1 fashion, against the Eels as well, nonetheless, a 50-point flogging. Well, a 48-point flogging, but 52 points up to 4 against 4. I mean, holy moly. It felt like deja vu, and it was.
So shall we put a line through them, or...?
Yeah, another year where round 1 is one and done. Round 1 done.
Jesus Christ.
Hard to watch. I mean, that first opening sequence, man, it for all money looked like it was going to be a good game. The Storm,
I thought it was going to be a cracker.
Storm were a little bit sort of taken aback, I think. Or they got hit from left field. They weren't really expecting the Eels to come out strong, but then as soon as that momentum changed after, was it a sin bin or a couple penalties or something? Might have been the Hopgood sin bin. It just
Yeah, it was the Hopgood Simbin for that really nasty hit on
Yeah,
on.
that's
I mean, look,
right.
it wasn't really that bad. Honestly, it wasn't really that bad of a hit, but
Sin bin,
it was just
sin
unfortunate that
Yeah,
Alec
the way
fell
it
that way.
happened. Yeah.
But either way, I think this game is 100% off the back of Harry Grant.
Yeah.
The amount of work
sure.
that he did for this game, he got himself 2 tries, but then on top of that, he was probably the reason that we got another 3 or 4 more. Like, who needs the halves, bro? Just send in Harry Grant.
Yeah, like potent from dummy half too. I mean, well, not just dummy half, but you know what I mean. In the runner play, just being there. I mean, yeah, it's like almost like you said. You've almost got to back up half as your hooker
As your
there,
dummy,
right?
as your hooker, yeah. Like he literally dictated the pace of that game, and the Eels just couldn't match it. They straight up couldn't match it. You had him putting balls on the chest of Joe Chan at a meter away.
Yeah.
Same with Jack Howarth. Warbrick got one from I think it was across the face as well, over onto the wing.
Oh, that was I do remember that. That was a beautiful pass from geez, who'd it come from? The halfback. Yeah, that's right. Straight. I think it was a cutout over 2 or 3 people, and he almost ran like a crescent shaped line to catch it and straight onto it.
Yeah, it was Hughes, I think.
Yeah, Hughes. You're right. It was from Hughes. Yep.
It was fantastic, but
Yep.
the quick play of the ball from dummy half to then be able to have the ability to even get that face, like across the face like that cutout was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
The one, the one, I think it was just before he just got one for himself when he went off.
Yeah.
And then I think Wishart came on to replace him.
Yep.
And then Wishart does the same thing, gets it to Suolai far longer does that Matty Bowen try.
Yeah, the chip and chase, was it? Yeah.
Chip and chase, right under the post.
Which was, again, just, I mean, goodbye Pappenhausen, and Farlogo just to step straight into his shoes. And it was a little bit like ugly at first, I think, how they were playing, how he was playing or fitting into that fullback position there, but it just, after that maybe half an hour or so of being on the field, it all just started to click right.
Started to click properly,
That second half he really dominated, and probably big ups too to Moses Leo, and also that Adavalu Lasardi, I think.
Lasardi, absolutely.
Yeah, they both, I mean, both young dudes, and I don't know how many games, if any, between them they've had first grade, but can't be many,
I know
if any.
Lasardi's only had probably 10, if that.
A few, yep. And yeah, insane. Like, absolutely. We talk about, clubs like Penrith and Storm having just the people to just step in and fill the role and do just as well as their predecessor. And those dudes definitely ones to watch for sure.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Looks like Adivalu Lasardi, 14 games.
There you go. Yep.
14 games. And
Half
Moses
season,
Leo's only played in Cup.
Yep, there you go.
But he was, I think he looks like he was from the All Blacks. So, interesting little transition. Welcome over, brother.
Bit of union, and we've seen before some union edges or union players coming over and being absolute beasts. So it could be a whole other season of that.
Absolutely.
And we'll move on to the Friday games now. So over in New Zealand, the Warriors 42 against the Roosters 18. This one, I did actually have the Roosters picked initially in tipping, and then probably 30 seconds after picking them, thought, why am I even bothering? And went to the Warriors.
Roosters early year, bro. It's a hard go.
Not so much just because it was a Warriors home game, but Roosters notoriously slow starters, as most people know.
But also, I think the Wars also have that. They've got that same sort of hoodoo that the Storm do. With round one.
Yeah, yep.
Very rarely do they lose round one.
It was a bit of a dogfight at first. They really were getting into it. But once that second half probably came around, I think it was all Warriors, or just before the second half, rather. It was all Wars, right? Like,
CHT just started dominating.
Yeah.
He was everywhere.
Tanner Boyd as well, I've got to say, in the absence of Metcalf, Tanner Boyd ever since last year has really sort of filled that role probably as good as anyone else can.
And this game in particular actually makes me wonder. Does Metcalf come straight back in?
Yeah,
You'd think he would.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
it's a tough one.
He's got competition at least, or I mean, really, they almost have to make room for Tanner Boyd.
That's exactly right. You got to keep him hungry as well. So it's going to be interesting when they both start looking for spots.
Could even be reason to just ease him back in a bit slower. Even they're in good hands, so why rush him back? But I
guess on the bonus side with this as well as with the new rule change, it kind of feels okay to have him on your bench too, Tanner Boyd.
Yeah, exactly. You might not need him, but if you do, he's right there, easy to use. But yeah, players like you said, CHT, and then you got Leka Halasima, he dominated last year and straight back into it again this year. I think he came off the bench and within that first touch of the ball, or
within 2 touches, he got a try. Yeah,
that was it.
He's unreal, that guy. He's gonna have a great career.
Yeah,
he gives me like a bit of vibes of like Manu Vartuve, but more inside the field, which is good.
Yeah, yep. Very strong ball runner as
well.
Very
strong.
Roosters again, they're just notoriously slow. I don't know. I mean, Teddy had a pretty good game, I think. The 6 and 7 combination of Cherry Evans and Walker probably, I don't know, might take a little bit to sort of gel a bit, but I don't know what happens there because Walker's long range kicks aren't the greatest. It's more of a short range kicking, and that where he excels. But you see DCE take those long range kicks, but I don't know. I just don't know how it's going to work when there are games like this where it's tight, and supposedly DC is going to play second fiddle, but will he?
Yeah, look,
be able to?
I'm gonna say it. I think the pie and coke strat has bit them in the ass.
Yeah.
I think you can't play the pie and coke strat with a halfback. That's not how the game works.
Yeah. Pay minimum wage to come and play and fill a void or fill a spot. See probably the rest of his career out there, but
I'm sure they've probably used that money elsewhere to make somewhere else good in the team.
Yeah.
I'm sure they could justify it elsewhere, but I mean, when you're in a game where you're having a lack of dictation around the park, it was a rough watch towards the end.
Yeah.
Boys just started giving up because they just had no direction anyway. So,
Yeah. Again, I guess, like we said, classic Roosters, early season Roosters. Not much more to be said or done there, unfortunately. They do usually take a while to get back into it. The next game, though, was Broncos versus Panthers, and I don't think anyone really... I think people thought Panthers were definitely in the fight and ready to get some revenge, but I don't think anyone saw it playing out like this at Suncorp, nonetheless. Broncos 0 to Panthers 26. And again, another one where it started out almost like a bit of a dogfight the first 5-10 minutes. And then, Panthers really just, once they got those first couple tries on, I think one of them in the first 2 or 3, Edwards or Jenkins. Jenkins got his first one just before halftime, and the rest of the game was just the Panthers choking the Broncos out.
It felt like watching 2023 all over again, just the Panthers slowly choking every single person.
Yeah.
Just
right.
every game was just a slow choke of just a slow grind, but choke.
Yep.
Clinical choking.
Get to fifth tackle and kick to the corner, and they're good enough. They're happy enough with that. Yeah.
I think for me with this game in particular, you're not mad if you lose to the Panthers.
Yeah.
You're not mad if you lose in round 1.
Yeah.
You're kind of mad when you lose at home, no matter what. It is what it is.
And don't put any points on the board.
But you are furious if you get held to 0, especially at home. That's a rough go.
Yeah. Tough.
I really hope that. Look, there could just be teething issues with it's the start of they just want a premiership, so they're probably not as hungry as they were. That's just how it goes unless you're from the Panthers.
Yeah.
Where you just really want to win premierships apparently. But I think I think it's going to be interesting to watch the next couple of games to see how they act, because for me there was so many things wrong with this game. Reese was missing. Haas didn't give a fuck. He did not give a single shit. It was more depressing for me to watch Payne Haas playing that game, purely because there was just a polar opposite of what we saw from the last 2 years from him. There was just no intensity, and maybe he's carrying injury, maybe it's just start of the season woes like Roosters get. I don't know, but there was just nothing coming from him. So Payne Haas was rough to watch. Reese was there was nothing to watch. You couldn't see him. You couldn't see where he was. Hiding at the back doing F all. Karapani was trying, but couldn't make it work.
Yeah, I found as well, like all across the park, and I mean Panthers had a few errors too, but just it was humid. The ball was greasy, you could see that, but just the errors, the lack of ball control all around. Like it'd be third tackle, knock on, or someone to make a break. I think, God, the amount of times I saw a solid break where it could have at least gained them, 30 plus meters, and there was a dropped ball off of that, just a simple tackle off of that or something was just shocking. Like that's what really bit them in the end, or really made it hard for him in the end, right?
And it didn't matter which side they went, man. If they went to the left, it was Ricky and Gemmett making an issue.
Yeah.
If they went to the right, it was Stags making an issue. They just fuck. Oh man,
rough to watch.
Like there was one that was, I think it was they went left, and then I want to say it was Ricky dropped the ball.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, yep.
And then they got the ball back a minute later, and then they went right, and Stags drops the ball. Yeah. And then Penrith play their very next set, and Stags is inside 10 meters.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like, oh.
Yeah, implosion. What is
and then that's when Tom Jenkins got that next try. But,
Yep.
Yeah, it was a rough watch. The first of the season for the Broncos. They couldn't get anything right. There was nothing right about their game, and they're gonna go back and watch tape and just get so angry watching that game. I guarantee it. So I'm sure we'll get a better result this week against I think it's Eels. I'm pretty sure they're versing this week.
Thursday,
tomorrow night. Yeah. But my goodness, they've got work to do.
Yep. And we'll smash through these last couple games. Talking about blowouts, another blowout on Saturday was the Sharks against the Titans, and I think most people were hoping, new coach, kind of a bit of a club clean out almost, a roster shake up. But yeah, I mean, no Campbell, which is hurt them because he was by far and away one of, if not their best player last year. But just overall disappointing, like helter skelter. Once the Sharks started scoring tries, it was like, I don't know. Titans they forgot how to play, or gave up.
Yeah, it was just giving up, like straight up.
Yeah, it was really hard to watch, and I mean, Hannay going up against his old side.
And this felt like watching. It felt like watching the Storm and Eels game over again, just the next night.
Yep.
For me, watching this game, it was literally just the line speed was just could not be matched. Like the Sharks' line speed. The Titans just could not keep up. They couldn't get back 10. They just couldn't defend against it. Yeah. I think the other big one for me was how aggressive Braden Trindle was in this game.
Yeah, for sure.
That was
a double as well.
Yeah, he was incredibly, like, not just aggressive in the way he attacked, but also very, very meticulous. So he's going to be a massive threat this year. He was a threat like the end of last year, but that was a threatening start to the season for sure.
Agreed. Yeah.
I think the only thing that was really promising from the Titans' perspective, look, Kinney tried, but Kinney was probably the only one trying. AJ was, I don't know where the hell AJ was. I didn't even realize Lachlan Ilias was playing. And I think the other probably good part was watching the new young winger. The one who picked up a try. And that was because he had to, it was not easy. He had to work for it. But he made it look good. So
Fayamani.
yeah, Femani, that's him. Femani, Silatili, maybe Silatili. Yeah, that. Yeah,
Femani. Yep. Yeah. So positive signs there, or something to look forward to.
Something to look forward to. Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, just rough for poor old Henne in his first showing against the club. He's just left getting absolutely shellacked.
Should have gone to Cows, mate.
Yeah, should have. Sharks though, continuing that form from last year, and I mean they sort of do it. They get there or thereabouts and end up in the top 4 or top 5. You know what I mean? And then just peter
and
off.
shit the bed. Yeah,
they just need a season, and this could be it. A season to just combine all, row in the same direction and keep the momentum like from this game going on. Next game on the Saturday though, this one was actually probably one of the best, if not the best of the round.
Game of the round for sure. Game of the round. Yeah. Actually,
so Sea Eagles and Raiders again going to Golden Point, but Raiders coming away with the win, 29-28, and geez, wasn't it like a showstopper? It almost felt tit for tat between the halfbacks, the old dog Fogarty leaving Raiders and going to Manly, and then Ethan Sanders, the young buck that came. I think he came through to the Raiders last year, but didn't get really given full.
Didn't get a run. Yeah, he only got like 2 runs when Strange got injured, maybe.
I think so. Yeah, Ricky kept him back just to ply his trade. Give him a bit more experience in the lower grade, and it seems to have. Worked wonders because, he stepped in and, geez, they looked as good as ever. Like, they looked, at the end there, they looked as good as ever with him. Like, he was just cool, calm and collected. And it was almost a 40-metre field goal. It was like 30-something metres out.
Yeah, 38. It was pretty wild, honestly.
It was,
to just hit it like
Cleary,
that. Yeah.
Cleary or Fogarty could have pulled off. So,
but just no one thought he had the balls to do it, and he just slaughtered it.
I don't think he even realised he did.
I think even the ref was sort of like, huh?
Yeah. Everyone stopped. It almost looked like they thought maybe he missed or something because everyone was confused. But I think they were all just processing the fact he was him.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, good signs for Manly. Olakuatu back's a big in for them. They've missed him for sure. Having Fogarty there to replace DCE is pretty big. But yeah.
Hasn't been spoken about, but Olakuatu seemed to be struggling with a hamstring at the end of that game. I'm hoping it's just burner or something like that. But
he had like, it was like a cramp, a massive cramp or something.
It was like there was cramp issues, but then it was
you're right. Yep. So
hopefully he's all good.
Very minor, if it hasn't come up yet, hopefully just something minor. But and
for what it's worth, he was fantastic in that game.
They've needed him scoring a try himself. Going himself, which was massive. I think Tommy was pretty big at fullback again. That's what they've needed. They've needed Tommy firing and not injured. Kohler as well, I think, was really good in that centre position. I mean, the amount of breaks he made, I think he talking about dropping the ball after a break in one of those earlier games, I think he sort of did that a couple of times. He got hit. Might have been Horsburgh hit him, and he lost the ball there after a break. But God, he was looking dangerous again, sort of back toward his best. But having Fogarty there to fill in for DCE, I think they're pretty safe hands at least. I'd almost, if they're ever going to change anything, I'd bring in what's his name? I can't think of it. The young fella they had on the bench, they didn't utilise him. Whether he comes in for Brooks or someone, or even at 14.
I was going to say, the only thing I don't like about the Manly team right now is Brooks. I think he's just not a very good defender at all.
Yeah.
I think he's not a good defender. I think Kobe Hetherington was a fantastic inclusion in their team.
Good pickup.
Good little steal from the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did fantastic. I thought Ethan Bullymore was fantastic. I thought even Nathan Brown was fantastic. And normally I only give Nathan Brown shit for being a buffhead. But no, they were all their forward pack was fantastic. Their forward pack is amazing right now. Doesn't matter where you look, from left to right, their forward pack and their edges are all fantastic. But I think the only thing they've got a bit of a question mark over right now is Luke Brooks, and that's purely because of his defense. I don't know what he's doing wrong in that regard, but
they might need a bit of a fire put under him.
Yep.
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe there's no competition or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows?
You'd
Hopefully,
think
just
there'd be something, but
like we said, early round maybe, or early in the season. Hopefully, he sort of reins it in a bit. But yeah, you're right. I agree. The one thing for the Raiders I liked was Noah Martin getting a run and scoring a double.
yeah, that
almost
kid's
triple.
fantastic.
He almost had three
Yeah.
or four chances at tries, but yeah, positive. Another one, I think. He wasn't just thrown in, and he's actually kept. Oh, geez, I'm forgetting his name now. I'm having a horrible day for players' names. But Mark Nichols. No, not Mark
Yeah. Nicholson.
Nicholson, that's it. Matty Nicholson.
Pommy. Yeah, Matty
Mark
Nicholson.
Nichols, the one that just retired. Yeah, Matty Nicholson. Yeah, he kept him out of the side from all reports from Ricky. So must have had a massive preseason. And yeah, he's made the most of his opportunity in his first game. So that's another exciting one, another exciting edge to watch moving forward through the season. But yeah, might be one for a few multis or something. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that they do love to play that side with Tom Starling, like with quick ball off Tom Starling, and that's exactly how it happened both times.
Yep.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So, and it was very lucky that the scoreboard wasn't bigger anyway with the runs Tarpanay was putting on too, because they did the exact same thing to the left with Tarpanay off Tom Starling. So.
Yep.
They have the Tom Starling thing down to a T, which is fantastic. And Brayley's a nice little inclusion too to give him a spell. So
most definitely. And then on to the last game of the round, Dolphins versus Rabbitohs, and unfortunately to round out a weekend of losses, or a round of losses rather, for Queensland teams, no one got up. 30 points to the Rabbitohs 40. Yeah, I don't know. Dolphins looked strong early, and then I don't know, petered off a bit. The Rabbitohs just, I mean, there's a few players there, but Walker had some individual brilliance. It was quite insane to watch. Trell was, as much as I hate to give him big raps, was crazy good in that center position. I mean,
I think we've said this for 2 years now. They need to get him out of fullback and get him into center. That is where he excels. And he might not like it, and he might want more money, but that's not how it works. If you're born to be a center, just fucking play center, man. Get over it.
Yep. And
I
mean, great at fullback. I thought great at fullback again.
I thought it was amazing again. Yeah.
Yep. It just I don't know. Rabbitohs have probably needed a year or two to build, getting Wayne back. Just to get back to where they were prior or whatever.
And hasn't he built? Wow, what a team.
Yeah, and injury as well. Everyone knows Rabbitohs have been dudded that much the last, forever really, with injury.
2 years at least. 2 years they've had over 4 or 5 people out injured every year.
Full-time players, yeah, exactly. Getting Campbell Graham back, and I didn't even realise he was playing on the wing.
Well, that was the craziest part for me, because when I saw he was playing on the wing, I was like, this is a bit odd. This may not work very well.
Yeah.
But he owned it. He crushed it.
It was quite a masterstroke from Wayne there. Ashton Ward, who unfortunately got injured toward the end there, had a pretty big game too. Totola at prop, so with a few players leaving and whatnot, Malali leaving and that, he made way for him to be the full-time prop. Keon, I thought as well, I mean, even though he's leaving at season's end, I thought he had a pretty solid game, but God, he looked buggered. I mean, it was hot again, humid and that, much like that Panthers-Broncos game, but I thought he had a big one. Fafita as well. I think Fafita wasn't too bad outside of that brain snap and all the carry on at the end.
I mean, honestly, this was
score for me. Yeah,
this was the best I've seen David Fafita play in like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
After he started to dip at the Titans, you're right. Yeah.
I think maybe Wayne's been one of the best things that could have happened to him.
Yeah, for sure. Bit of a resurgence or resurrection of form in a sense, and Murray as well. Seeing Cam Murray back, he had quite a solid game. It was good to see him come back and have a bit of a dig after.
It was nice to see him come back and just focus on running. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I feel like because they've had so many injuries over the years. I feel like Cam Murray has played this sort of role where he just tries to do a bit of everything in the forward line.
Bit too much almost.
And that's just caused himself injury, So I think to see him come back and just have a full fresh team where he can just lock in on just being that big dog, that big lock.
Agreed.
I thought he did fantastic.
Yep, most definitely. Well, that's about it for round one. We'll do some quick fire tips for round two here. We were talking about it earlier, touched on it earlier, but tomorrow night's game was the Broncos up against the Eels up there at Suncorp, and God, the Broncos need to fire. They need, unfortunately for the Eels, after getting absolutely shellacked, because they also need to do that. Back at home again. God, it would be a real shame if the defending premiers went down to the Eels at home after
twice in a row at home.
Yeah, after the way the Eels played, and twice in a row at home. So, tough one. Could be a tough one, but I'm still thinking probably Broncos get the win. You got to say Broncos, I think. Just Madge, probably giving a bit of a hiding or whatnot this week. And
I think if you don't have a team like the Panthers just strangling you,
you got a bit more.
I think you've got a bit more room to play.
Yeah, a bit more room to breathe and whatnot. You're right, and I'm still not sold on. I mean, I'm sure it'll come good, but Pezzett and Moses, I wasn't sold last week. Pezzett started strong and then got a bit wavy, so it might take a little bit to.
I am interested to see how Pezzett plays against a team that isn't the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, against the team.
I think he got a bit frazzled
year as well.
I think he was a little bit frazzled.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe trying to prove a point a bit too much to his own end, unfortunately. But, Broncos. I'm going Broncos, and this one sounds like same for you.
Yeah, that's a fucking interesting point he tried to prove.
Yeah,
Broncos for me, mate.
Friday's games, this will be another big one, I think. Warriors and Raiders over there in New Zealand. Now, God, it'll be tough. Wires are strong, but so are the Raiders. I think Raiders might have a bit of a mission. It might be up against them a bit, just having to travel over there and whatnot. It was a big Golden Point game, so I don't know. It's a tough one. This is a 50-50 for me. I'm going to stick with the Warriors. I'll go on the Warriors train for this one.
I find it hard to not back the Warriors at home right now.
Yeah.
I'm also going to go the Warriors here, but if this was another Golden Point game for the round, I wouldn't be shocked, because this one could be real close. This is going to be the fun one to watch on Friday.
Maybe only a slim margin, but Warriors as well. The second game, though, on Friday, this will be huge. Probably one for everyone to watch, the Roosters and the Rabbitohs. Look,
this could be it.
Even though they are slow starters, I am going to tip the Roosters in this one to get the win, but I am tipping AJ to get the double, if not a triple, to set the record. So I feel like the Roosters, it might only be a slim margin. They might only just get the W in it, but I'm feeling like the Rabbitohs are going to get AJ over. Like he's going to get those 2 tries he needs. But anytime the Rabbitohs and Roosters play, it's just massive. it's always big.
And that's the thing. I'm pretty sure there's usually always beef too.
Yeah.
So this will be an interesting one to watch. Yeah, another sin bin. Sin bin off, my goodness. Yeah, this one is tight for me to tip, because I feel like the Bunnies will win, but I feel like they're gonna.
They're forming in round one too. I mean,
well, yeah, but I just think they're gonna invest so much time trying to get AJ over at Sydney, at Allianz, against the Roosters.
Troll's going himself.
Yeah, I honestly just foresee either errors or sin bins. And it's not they're not going to let AJ get in.
Yep.
So I don't think he'll score his 2 tries. I think he'll get one. I think he'll get one for sure. I don't think they'll let him get 2.
Yep.
But I think it'll be Bunnies win.
Yep. Very nice. And Saturday's games, Tigers versus Cowboys, and my Tigers will be fresh. They had that round 1 bye, and we do need to bounce back. We do need to show some sort of signs of life, signs of improvement there. It is at Leichhardt, and Cowboys always do have big games at Leichhardt, or it's always a big game between the two at Leichhardt. But, I'll tip the Cowboys. If 20 minutes in I'm seeing the same sort of defensive effort and whatnot, I will not be shocked to see the Tigers get the W here. I mean, they've got Kai Pearce-Paul on the side this year, and he is quite a strong ball runner. So
They got an even bigger forward pack than they had last year, which is pretty
exactly, and that's what does us in at times. But yeah, I'll go Cowboys in this one.
good. I think I'll be going Cows, but I think honestly, when it comes to the Cows and Tigers, they just seem to always want to put up either a lot of points or no points.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
I'm hoping it's not one of those no points ones, and I'm hoping it's a lot of those big points ones.
Yep. Big triathlon, maybe. The next game will be Dragons versus Storm. We did see this last year, and Dragons sort of came out with the win, although the weather was pretty average. Last year or the year before, but the weather was pretty average, unfortunately, and the Dragons sort of snuck away with the win in that one, but I think I've got to go with the Storm this time.
I'll be going Storm in this one as well. There's going to be no rain. It's going to be dry as.
Yeah, and just, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a shellacking that it would have been years prior, but yeah, I think Storm starting strong. They've got a bit of hope in their eyes, and I think they want a bit of revenge for going down against the Broncos in the grand final last year, so Storm for me as well. The last game for Saturday is Panthers and Sharks, and this should be a good one. This is out at Bathurst there, so Panthers home game. I am going to go Panthers. I don't want to, but I'm going to go Panthers in this one, just after what we saw against the Broncos. I think very methodical, and I think they've got a point to prove.
I think this one here, I'm going to go Sharks.
Yep.
I reckon, I seriously believe that they can, this after seeing the way, like after seeing how they played and how aggressive they were, I think the only team that's going to be able to match them in that same sort of aggression is the Panthers. But I really just have this feeling that the Sharks are going to win in the middle. Yep. I think they've got the bigger forward pack. I think they win in the middle.
Those bigger boys ready to roll down the field. And carry it on from last week. Sunday's games, Eagles versus Knights. Tough one. I'll probably go Sea Eagles just with their pretty well full strength pack against the Knights now, although it will be interesting to see. It will be interesting to see how they fare without him. Will Dylan Brown step up a little bit more now? Because we know he is a ball runner, but he's going to be the man kicking and whatnot. So will he be able to step in and bring a bit of flair there? Who knows?
I think the reason that all their players unlock is because Sharp gives them that freedom. I think no Sharp, no win. I'm going to go Eagles.
Eagles as well. Easy. And the last game of the round, Dolphins and Titans, and probably a pretty easy one for most people. But what we saw from both teams, I think it's got to be Finns. It is at Suncorp, so both teams only travelling a little bit north and south respectively, but it's
got to be Finns up. The attack just looks so much better.
Yeah, not very positive signs for the Titans, unfortunately.
No, I think Matty Johns. I think it was Matty Johns with. I think Hindy said that the Titans are not going to win a game until round 11.
I did hear that. That was his bold prediction.
That was his bold prediction, and you know what? I don't normally agree with Hindy, but I think I'm on board.
Jumping on the negativity train.
He broke it down, and honestly, I couldn't, as much as I wanted to refute him, I couldn't refute a thing he said. So yeah, I'm on board.
Tough for the old Titans, unfortunately. With that though, we'll move on to your try of the week with round one. Round one.
Yeah.
And there were some decent ones. I mean, we had a lot of doubles, a lot of teams, most of them in those big blowout games, as you probably suspect. But who did you pick for your try of the week for round one?
It's got to be Farlogo. It's how could it not be Farlogo? I mean, I always talk about how when I see players do things like Matty Bowen, and this was the most Matty Bowen shit you've ever seen in your life. Yeah. It starts with a run. A fantastic run, might I add, off Moses Leo. Straight up the middle, gets up to the 20 on his own. Nice quick play of the ball to I think it's Wishart, to Wishart. Wishart tries to get out. He gets caught by Barlaw.
Yep.
But he gets it back to Farlogo, and Farlogo just chips and chases and beats 5 of them. he just trounces all 5.
Perfect.
No worries.
Place too. It was almost like it was magnetized to the corner of the goalpost pad.
Yeah, the goalpost. Yeah, right off the post. Yeah,
set up perfectly for him.
And just the fact that he just beat every single person. He could go 0 to 100 that quickly. It was fantastic.
Yep, and possibly, I mean, Storm are hoping so anyway. But sign of things to come now that he's got that fullback position full time. Really, he's
Absolutely.
the man. All eyes are on him for it anyway. Very nice. We will move on to. I'll continue doing. We'll see if we can change it up at some point during the season, but continue doing a bit of a buy of the round for NRL fantasy for anyone that is playing again this year. But I'm going to go with Noah Martin. And I don't think if it's probably no surprise really if anyone didn't start with him in round one. I think everyone's going to be because he was basement price really $250K or thereabouts, and off an 80-point performance for someone that's what I mean has really played no games. It's insane. Like, he rose 66 grand off that one game, 66K, so he's sitting at 316K, which is still cheap, still affordable, but 80 points.
But he will be going up.
Yeah, that's it. Consecutively, week on week, and I mean, you can't expect 80 from him every week. Not to say he won't hit 80s or 70s, 60s here and there. He might even be roughly a 50-point player, but for what you're paying for him, like, that's insane. You'll halfway through the season, you'll have made enough money to buy one of your keepers, whether it's a Haas or a Cleary if you don't have them already, or someone else in that edge position that's doing very solid, or you may even be able to stick with him right to the end. But Noah Martin from the Raiders, all eyes on him, I think. It'll be exciting to watch. Another exciting one to watch. That's probably about it for now. I don't think there's anything else really major in NRL news going on after round one. We glad to have it back. We're probably all just settling in and I think getting these first few weekends out of the way, adjusting to having something to watch on weekends most times of the evening at least anyway.
A lot of injuries, unfortunately, even with the first round, but it's pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, that's it.
I think, geez, who did we lose this one? That was a massive one. I think, Alec McDonald, he's out for next week, obviously, with that KO. That man's eyes rolled around in the back of his head.
Yep.
That was wild. I think we still are not going to get any Jack Bostock for the Finns for for a long time, actually. I was looking at that the other day, wondering when he was going to be back after that game because I noticed he wasn't playing. And his knee's still messed up so he's not anticipated back until halfway through the year, which is pretty bad. I think the other one obviously is Fletcher Sharp, who is only going to be 2 weeks, which is good. So he'll be back in round 3.
Yep.
And hopefully his knee isn't fully dead. And Addo Carr, actually, he even sat on Matty Johns last night, I believe it was, or the night before. That he reckons he might even be back earlier, so this week as opposed to next week. So we'll see if there's any changes tomorrow night.
Yeah, yep. Anyone late inclusions or whatnot? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, with that, we might wrap it up. Obviously, no video for this one. We're running a bit late this week. We're being a bit busy with everything, but hopefully next week onwards anyway, we can get back into our normal schedule with everything. I think that's probably it. And if you got nothing else, then we'll see you next round. Yeah, see you next round.